Yeah. We are back. Woo. Okay, so what the hell? Get back to sleep, Wookie. We're back. It's Freaky Friday on your protection from deception. TFRlive.com. Don't forget, TFRlive.com/chat. Tis the Wookie Cave. And you can have lots of fun in a Wookie Cave.
You can.
Yes, you can.
Until they started that hashtag Wookie2 movement. I don't know. You can't get away with half the stuff you used to, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag Wookie2. Hashtag Scott Lopez, too. How you doing, man?
He's back.
What is up, gentlemen?
How you doing?
Man.
You are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. I can hear it.
What's happened to your Windows,
Good
dude?
morning, Sunshine. How you doing?
I heard Bill Gates hacked you, man.
Yeah, well, I've been having catastrophic PC issues, and as opposed to what you think, Joe, that of me just waking up, I haven't been to bed yet, so that's tired the other way around.
Oh, that way. Ooh, bad.
Sleep deprivation's good, man. You sometimes hallucinate with that stuff. That's pretty cool.
What happened? Catastrophic speaking.
Well, I guess it's kind of a blessing, but for the foreseeable future, I can't be running Windows.
Ooh.
What?
Windows 10 just kind of randomly blue screens on me, just out of nowhere. Just decides to do it whenever it wants to. There's no rhyme or reason, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to revert back to Windows 7. Always been reliable, right? And Windows 7 now refuses to update to the latest, the latest security update, the July security update.
They stopped supporting it.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to stop supporting it in January, but they're still rolling out these additional updates, and there's a major security flaw, a major security vulnerability that needs to be patched, and I can't download the update won't apply for me, and it's obvious it's happening to other people as well, so I'm not the only one dealing with this issue. And of course, you know how security minded I am. I don't feel comfortable running Windows with a big security vulnerability opened up on.
Are you just going to run Linux or what?
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. I'm running Linux. I got Skype going on Linux. I got OBS going on Linux.
Nice.
And so that's what I've been doing, basically.
What else do you need?
Yeah, right now I'm still dealing with a couple of issues. I can't pipe audio through. I can't clean my mic sound up.
Welcome to my world.
But I will get all of that handled tonight, I think.
Good.
But for now, we're up and going, and we're totally Windows free, totally cut off from Windows, which is like I said, it's kind of a blessing. So
How do you feel?
I feel good. I feel excellent.
Okay.
Now, hang on a minute, Mr. Lopez. I need a word with you. I seen you on Facebook the other day, and I thank you, algorithm. I know you listen. I really like that you give me Scott's posts now and again. But no, Scott, what is this that you've got a bone to pick with all of us Brits over here? Because we're getting excited about the lightning. Come on,
You're
dude.
a Brit?
I'm a Brit.
You become a Brit.
Dude, Brit, Scott, I'm a man of many masks.
Oh, I see.
So Scott, tell me, what is it that irks you about our lightning fetishes we've got over here?
So I guess you guys had the UK got some thunderstorm activity.
Dude, it wasn't just a thunderstorm. It was like Tesla was unleashing his wrath from the clouds. I'm telling you, man, it was biblical stuff.
Gracious.
Oh my goodness, Kev. Look, man. The videos I saw coming out of there, I mean, it made me chuckle because everyone, there was like this hysteria.
Rarity, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I could see, seeing something that
It's
you don't
probably
really
on par
see
with
that
like
often.
meteor showers for us, It's kind of
Come
like that.
on, Joe.
Perhaps like impact.
It's like I
Where
was speaking to somebody the other day, and gay people came up in the conversation, and they actually said to me, "Do you even see any gay people over there? Where do people think I live? Do you think I'm in some like kind of other dimension? Am I in the tramp's pocket? You know, it's
you are in the
2019 where I
dimension
come
of
from as well. You
toxic
know,
masculinity.
I know, dude, I know."
But you know, it was pretty amusing though. I mean, just seeing like everybody in the UK freak out over some lightning, you know, like over just you know, I mean,
Some lightning.
some. Well, I mean, I guess because I live in Kansas and I experience the most insane weather probably on the face of the planet, it doesn't, you know, but
Scott,
still, I mean,
literally,
it made me
literally, us
chuckle.
in the UK, we're not in Kansas anymore. You see, it's different over here, man.
I never once in all those videos I saw of the biblical lightning display over the
It was
UK.
like
Not once.
Edison versus Tesla up in the heavens, dude. They were
Oh my.
unleashing AC versus DC. It was going wild, man.
Not once did I see one bolt of lightning actually hit the ground.
Shh,
It
don't let
was
that
just
get in the way of it. Shh, shh.
it was just those lightning in the clouds, you know, and I was like, I mean that's just kind of
Yeah,
a
that's great.
yeah, it's just a normal
Yeah.
rain shower that kind of blows through over here. But
Yeah.
no, I mean it's amusing. It's amusing to see people get really excited about stuff that they don't see very often.
I laugh, and I laughed when I seen that status from you, Scott. But Joe, us Brits over here, we've got a hell of a way of like exaggerating anything about the weather. Never
No, I
just
get
rains, it pours. It's never just warm, it's absolutely tropical and baking to death. You never just get a bolt of lightning, it's biblical stuff. And I don't know, dude, it's just part of the way we're wired. It must be all that tea we drink or something, you know?
and it's not just a squared sausage either.
Oh, don't get me started on square sausages, man. Come on. Don't offend me greatly. Come on.
I know.
Pesky Germans at Aldi. I'll get
Pesky
them.
German.
So what else has
They-
been going on in the world, guys? I've missed you guys. It's been like
I have
ages.
no idea what the hell's been going on in the world. Kev, I really couldn't give a rat's ass what's going on in the world right now, but I will tell you that I did find a little tidbit whilst doing my research, if you will.
Research. Come on, none of us here are
My
researchers,
deep
Joe.
research.
You mean you used Google?
Nope, I didn't even have to do that. Scientists almost didn't detect the approach of a city-killing asteroid,
Oh,
apparently.
man.
Ah, yes, I saw this.
Yeah, doesn't that make
yeah,
you sleep
Alan Duffy
easier at
was so
night?
confused. On Thursday, the astronomer's phone was suddenly flooded with calls from reporters wanting to know about a large asteroid that had just whizzed past Earth, and he couldn't figure out why everyone was so alarmed. He says, I thought everyone was getting worried about something we knew was coming. Duffy is also the lead scientist at the Royal Institute of Australia. Told the Washington Post forecasts have already predicted that a couple of asteroids would pass relatively close to the Earth this week. But then he looked up the details of the hunk of space rock named Asteroid 2019 OK. And he was stunned. He says this was a true shock. The asteroid wasn't one of the ones that scientists had been tracking, and it had seemingly appeared from out of nowhere. Michael Brown, a Melbourne-based observer, told the Post. Now, according to the data from NASA, the craggy rock was large, roughly 110 yards wide, and moving quickly along a path that brought it within about 45,360 miles of Earth. That's about 1/5 the distance to the moon, which Duffy considers uncomfortably close. So Brown says it snuck up on him pretty quickly. He's an associate professor with Australia's Monash University School of Physics and Astronomy. He says people are only sort of realizing what happens pretty much after it already flung past us. That's great. So, you know, I don't really need to go into it, but yes, is there complacency? I'm sure. Astronomers know that they don't know every asteroid that could possibly impact us or detect them, you know? So, Kev, Scotty, do you think we could actually do you think we have the capability of actually tracking all of those things? And
No.
even if we could, what the hell can we do about it?
No, we don't have the ability to track every single thing. I mean, look at the one that came in and was it Chelyabinsk? Ooh, I got it right this time, I believe. Chelyabinsk, Russia. You know, the one that sent that huge shockwave, and that kind of pretty much came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody was tracking that.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's just so much of it out there that there's no way you can scan 100% all around at all times. There's going to be something that slips through.
Well, not without an unprecedented level of funding.
Yeah, I mean, right now it's just completely impossible to do something like that, I think. So, we only catch the ones that we happen to be able to see, if we're scanning that certain sector of space and we pick it up, then hey, but I think honestly, to tell you the truth, I think probably whatever we pick up is maybe 5% at most of what's really out there.
This makes me think of only one thing, gentlemen, and I'm going to play it for you. It's only a quick clip, but it fits. Oh, it fits.
My name is Carol Rosen. In 1974, after being a sixth grade school teacher, I was introduced to the late Dr. Wernher von Braun in the U.S., the father of rocketry. In my first meeting with him, during that first 3.5 hours, he said to me, "Carol, you will stop the weaponization of space." And I said, teachers don't stop until June. He said, "No, you have to understand. This is February, and we have to prevent the weaponization of space because there is a lie being told to everyone that the weaponization of space is now first being based upon the evil empire, the Russians. There are many enemies," he said, "against whom we're going to build this space-based weapon system, the first of whom was the Russians, which was existing at that time. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be third world countries. Now we call them rogue nations or nations of concern. Then there would be asteroids." And then he would repeat to me over and over, "And the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat."
There we go. There we go. And asteroids, second last. And think about it. We've got the Space Force or Space Corps. We've got the NDAA, where they're going to get appropriated so many billions to fund that new wing of the military. They need something to justify it. And I tell you what, if they were to come out and say, "Listen, we need to kind of weaponize space just in case one of these rocks is coming our way," who's going to be able to turn their nose up at that? But we know it's just an excuse to weaponize space, right?
Right.
And if they don't get enough public support from the asteroid stories, that I encourage people to look out for now, because we're already seeing the last card of the alien stuff being played out from To the Stars Academy and Tom DeLonge and Luis Elizondo and all these people. They're bringing us the groundwork for that very last card. So get ready for this other justification of why we need to weaponize space. Oh, all these random rocks. And Scott's right, How many of these things can we physically actually track? So, let's weaponize it. Let's put a few things up there, a few platforms. Just so at the last minute when we're tracking it, we can obliterate them. We wouldn't turn those weapons down and point them towards the ground. Don't be so silly, Joe Scott. We wouldn't do that.
Hey, we need the SDF-1.
Yeah, and then Scott, when people don't get too fearful, when they're not buying it, well, that's when we start to see the ramp up of the last card. And like I say, they're already playing that one right now.
Well, and then you're also seeing kind of a merging of the two, right? So you have like Oumuamua, right?
Yep.
So it was a interstellar asteroid, thing, and then they started kind of folding in, hey, could it be of extraterrestrial origin, And I mean, we've seen, over the last couple years or so, this sort of ramp up of the whole asteroid thing, in the news and being pushed by the media and stuff like that. So there's definitely something to it. And like you said, who would really want to who would argue against we have to protect Earth from a interstellar object that could impact and wipe out humanity.
Think
So
of what the
let's
dinosaurs could have done, Scott, if they had this technology at their fingertips.
Dude, if they just had lasers on their heads.
Pterodactyl laser Rex.
yeah, so let's build these satellites with giant energy weapons, and put them around the planet, and of course we would never use that for nefarious purposes. No way.
And we'll just let the AI run it, that AI that you can merge with to make sure it never shoots you,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I just think this has just been happening since the formation of the planet. We've always had giant rocks flying by pretty close. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. And I don't think we're really ever going to, I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point if we're around long enough, but at least in the foreseeable future, I don't see us being able to track all of these things. And there's always the possibility that one can just come out of left field and hit us. I mean, it's just the way it is, man. I mean, but it's just like when you go out, you can there's always the chance that a car's going to hit you.
I like how you brought up Amua, but because it's still a confusing one. And I know the longer that time has gone by, there have been more respected scientific kind of institutes coming out and rubbishing the alien kind of line. And that was put forward by somebody from Harvard, if memory serves me correctly, somebody Loeb. And there's still some out there that say that whole Oumuamua, it was completely different from anything they've seen before. So you're right, Scott. They kind of could still use that one to merge the two kind of topics.
Yeah, because we're like, well, is it an alien probe? What is it? Or is it just some giant interstellar meteor? Just
these fast radio bursts. I mean, okay, I've got like Brendan Drackler comes on, talks about it, and there's other people in science that talk about it, but they could easily fool us one day and say, we've got this fast radio burst, and this is bona fide contact, folks. And we would, the majority of people would believe it. There would be those of us that would question it, but how often do people listen to us nowadays? People just want to go with the herd.
Exactly. And it's just the whole thing in general, right? The whole, you could just see this whole thing being pushed. It seems like it's all of this space stuff. It's all of this asteroid stuff. It's all of this extraterrestrial stuff. And I mean, which is fine. I mean, I'm into the woo. I'm into UFOs and stuff like that. And not rubbishing any of it. I'm just saying there just seems to kind of be this agenda being pushed to really kind of put it out there in the public's mind, and you just got to wonder kind of what's going on, what's going on behind the scenes. What do they know, or what are they using this for? Because they don't just push this stuff for no reason,
And you're right. And again, it's always for me been the most kind of effective way of getting stuff done. If you're in that cartel, that cabal that wants this global government, because that really would cause a global crisis that only a global response would be appropriate. And that global response would bring us all together, Scott, and we would all sing happily ever after the UN national anthem that they would come up with. And yeah, Armageddon Day, dude.
Yeah, and didn't even Ronald Reagan, remember, in one of his speeches, he's like, what if there was a threat from, basically an extraterrestrial, and then basically saying, that could be what would unite the planet, So uh, they definitely can use something like that to try and usher in a one world government situation, because then there's this existential threat from outside, that humanity has to come together. We have to put aside our petty differences and face this strange threat from beyond. And it's kind of the perfect way to get everybody to fall in line and fall under one umbrella. And
That strange threat is already here. If only people could see these entities shape-shifting from reptilian to human like I do, then I tell you what, Joe, we would soon unite against this reptilian force.
Oh yeah, or like Colony, you just stage an alien invasion and kill as many humans as you want and blame an alien force when really it's not. But
then you get an algorithm to assign everybody roles and jobs and works out your efficiency. Yeah, exactly, man.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, we're there, dude. They have the capability.
That's what I mean. 8 years of doing this, Joe, speaking to one another, and here we are, like I say, on the cusp of it. Everything we've ever kind of spoke about, everything we've speculated about, all of it, it's now coming to that head,
And I don't even think, at least in my humble opinion, that all of the Hollywood and all that kind of stuff that puts out there is not, a lot of that isn't being put out there because somebody's saying, oh, this is an agenda I want to push.
No, they're tapping into the consciousness.
They're tapping in, exactly.
They think they're getting original. They think they're having original thoughts. They think they're coming up with things, and we sit here and go, look how obvious that is. There's the agenda there. But no, they genuinely came up with it because this is the apocalypse. It's all coming to the surface.
And that's what it is, that it is it's when everybody gains that understanding that, shit, here we are.
Okay, I've got a clip here from Scott, and this is, and I actually spoke about this on a show not long ago myself, because this ties in with everything that we're seeing playing out right now. And Ronald Reagan, the only thing that Ronald Reagan done wrong was the timing. And it's Clyde Lewis. He often talks about the fact that at a press conference after one of the occasions, because he said it twice, Reagan, and Gorbachev was asked, what do you think about what Reagan said there? And he just said, he's got a point, but the timing's not right. Gorbachev knew the agenda. Here we go.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
It's you and your political class, Ronald.
Ouch.
What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
Do you think he was a genuine character, guys? I should ask you, as you're American,
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Well, they did try and take him out after all, right? That should be an indication.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that they didn't bank on the fact that he was smarter than they planned. They thought he was more of a, he was a Hollywood actor. I mean, really. And, he was good at it. But
again,
they didn't realize
it was too soon.
He had backbone a bit. And, it came to bite him in the...
It was just too early for a reality TV president.
Yeah.
Wait a couple of decades, Donald Trump.
But look at now. Yeah, exactly. Only this guy, I mean, again, I think is meant to distract. He's loud. He's obnoxious. He's playing his part, his role. Even if there was no plan, I'm telling you, it is what is supposed to happen.
Yep.
I just feel like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the road that we're on. And I don't know what that means, but I know that all of the noise that's being thrown out there, whether it's on a, you know, a global scale, a national scale, or even a personal scale. Think about it all individually, every one of you. Are you experiencing increased activity in your life? You know I'm like exponentially. We are just under attack time and time and time again. It's one thing after another, after another, after another, meant to distract us from what the hell we're supposed to be paying attention to. I don't know what it is half the time, but I just know it's not all this noise. You know, it's crazy.
It's Mercury retrograde, Joe.
Mercury in retrograde. Yeah, it's coming.
No, you know me. I don't mock that anymore. Mercury, I'm only joking, dude. We'll be back after these short messages.